If you have knee osteoarthritis, then one activity that can become problematic is getting out of a chair. And what happens is, over a period of time, very slowly, you tend to use your arms more and use your legs less. Now, the slight problem with that is all that's going to happen is your legs are going to become weaker and more deconditioned, and subsequently it's going to progressively become harder. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through a few tips and strategies that you can try at home to make sure that getting out of a chair is no problem at all. Now, the key thing with any activity that is difficult or challenging is actually giving it a go. Getting into a cycle where you are consistently avoiding an activity is only going to make that activity more difficult over a prolonged period of time. So anything that we find challenging, we just need to regress back to a level that we can tolerate, practice at that level, and then build back up again. So all we're going to do is gradually expose ourselves to getting out of a chair, but we're going to make it as easy as possible first. So one suggestion would be trying to raise the height of the chair at home. So if you've got a higher chair, you can use that. If not, grab yourself a pillow or two, and you're going to practice getting off that. The higher you are, the less your legs have to work and the easier it will be. So a couple of pillows here, and I'm just going to try and lean forwards, push up through my thighs and my hips and see if that's easier. And all I'm going to do is try 5 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5. Practice at that level. If that becomes easier, very simply, you can make it harder by getting rid of one of your pillows. And you can do the same again. So just by decreasing the level of the chair slightly, takes more thigh strength, takes more hip strength and core strength, and that will build things up. Obviously, you can take that away and you can do it from the chair itself. Another thing that you can think about is your position in the chair. So if you are sat right back in the chair and your feet are far away from you, it's going to be very difficult to get yourself out of the chair. So a couple of tips would be, bring your feet towards the chair as far as they'll go, and if they can go underneath the chair, then great. Try and shuffle your bottom forwards. Now already we're in a position where our momentum is going to be sending us forwards rather than pushing us backwards. So from this position, you're just going to lean forwards, and it might feel that you're falling slightly, but all it's going to do is take your momentum forwards rather than backwards. So lean forwards, you can put your arms out if you want to, and let's just try and push through the balls of your feet, push through your knees, and then you can see that your momentum is heading in the right direction rather than the wrong direction. Another thing that you could try if you felt that the chair was just too low at the minute is to do a very small squat type movement. Now, a squat is exactly the same movement as getting on and off a chair. So don't be scared about the word squat. What we're going to do is start off with some support, so you can have both hands on your kitchen surface at home or a chair, as we've got here. You can have another chair behind you. It's going to make you feel a bit safer, but it's also a really good cue for where your hips need to go. So what we want to avoid doing is leaning on the chair and bringing our knees right over our toes. We want to stick our bottom out and aim for the chair. So hold on, and you're just going to do 20% or 25% of the movement to start with. Work out what feels comfortable, and then as you practice and as you progress, you can start going lower and lower until you feel like your bottom can reach the chair. And this is a perfect example of what we're talking about when we're talking about finding a level that you can tolerate. So squats are a brilliant exercise for people with knee and hip osteoarthritis. And often if I say to a patient, we're going to get you squatting, they think, no, that sounds scary and painful. But like I said at the beginning, with any exercise, any activity, we can regress it right back to the point where you're doing it with some support through 20% of the movement. We find a level that you can tolerate, and then we can progress from there. The other thing about a sit to stand or getting out of a chair or squat is a really practical thing to do during the day. So another thing that I would suggest to patients sometimes is Try 5 squats every time that you get up and go and get yourself a cup of tea, or every time you nip to the toilet. So rather than getting up and going off, you're going to practice. So before you nip to the loo, you have to do 5 squats before you go to the loo. And sometimes what you'll find is actually it's the first couple that are a bit uncomfortable because things have got a bit stiff because you've been in one position for a while. And after the 4th or 5th one, actually you're already feeling a bit looser and a bit more comfortable. So make it practical. Do them intermittently throughout the day, but practice a few at one time so you're getting that repetition in and you're getting those muscles working. After you've been practicing that and you've been building things up over a period of time, it might be that you feel comfortable going lower than the chair. So you can get rid of the chair and you can go a little bit lower. You could even have your support in front of you whilst you try and go a bit lower. But if you can get to the point where your knees are going past 90 degrees and your hips are going past 90 degrees, then there's no way that you will need to use your hands anymore, and getting out of the chair is going to be a piece of cake. If you are watching this video because you do have osteoarthritis, I have recently put a completely free osteoarthritis ebook together for you with the sole aim of helping you manage your osteoarthritis without the need for injections and surgery. You can find a link to that ebook in the description below the video. I'd love to hear from you, so let me know if your osteoarthritis is making it difficult for you to get out of the chair and how you're managing to overcome it. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please do like it to show your appreciation, and subscribe if you haven't already. It means you'll get notified every time I bring out new osteoarthritis related help, which I do every single week. And it also means that more people will see the video that hopefully you found helpful. Whilst you're doing that, I'll see you in the next one.